Well, hello there, humans, hippies, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and if you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it too. I'm Bushka Blitz, and this is the VK2801. Now, before we get down to brass tacks, before we start talking tanking, I want to talk to you about your replays. You're sending me in heaps of replays. Heaps and heaps of replays. That's lovely. I appreciate it. It's brilliant. Include the results screen. If you don't include the results screen, I can't put the results screen up on the replay. That's all there is to it. The results screen doesn't automatically transfer at the end of the replay. Another thing is, I'm going away this Friday, and before I hand the keys over to the dog sitters, I'll have done a whole heap of videos that will be dropping while I'm away. I'll be then, after we finish our family holiday, I'll be going to Tank Fest, and I will be rocking and rolling there. And if you're in Tank Fest, I will happily say hello to you, and we'll have a great old time. However, if a patch drops while I'm away, then which is very likely, then it's unlikely that I'm going to be able to look at all the reviews that I've currently got in the files there, because the new client may not play the old client's replay files. We'll have to find out. I don't think it will. It's always been the case in other games I've played on that is how it happens, but we'll see what happens. So onwards and upwards, this is the VK2801. It's a tank that I've made a hell of a lot of videos about and that I drove very, very aggressively. And I still drive it just ridiculously aggressively. I don't play this tank to go and shag spiders. We are here to have a good time and a great old go at it when we drive the 2801. The thing it has going for it still, despite it being nerfed quite recently, is just heroic amounts of mobility. At one point, I think this was the fastest tank in the game. And by fastest, I mean actual, real, applicable fast. Not just doing 80 kilometers an hour and power sliding around a corner and losing all that speed or losing momentum. I'm talking about flying around corners without sliding out, having crazy amounts of terrain resistance, and tracks that just seem to hug the ground. I mean, you can see here the tank is got absolutely no qualms whatsoever in smashing and bashing. And when I made this video, I wanted to, I just look where I am with this thing. This is a light tank. I am just so deep, and it's such a good little rammer. It's such a brilliant tank, and it remains a brilliant tank. Is it as strong as it once was? No, because man, this was the best tank in the game. It was my favorite tank, and it remains one of my favorite tanks. Watch the way I use this thing in really, really close proximity to other tanks. It's got this crazy feel about it, like it's a F1 car. Like it's just got aerodynamics out the ring wang, and it's going to get pressured down and forced down onto the tarmac and not going to lift, and you're going to be able to just drive it anywhere, anytime you like, as fast as you like. There's a Leo 1, an SU100Y, and a T3485 up there. Let's go and say hello. And you're going to see why I love this tank. It's so mobile, and the gun is so reliable for a gun that is a tier 6 gun. It just does the business. And look at how quickly you can change the angle of attack. And your upper plate is so strong. It really does get a lot of bounces that it doesn't deserve, which is pretty crazy when you think about this being a light tank. The fact that it's got that upper plate that you can angle up at that kind of severe acute angle and still get shots into is madness. The fact that it can do 65 kilometers an hour at the drop of a hat, have massive amounts of traverse, all those things remains madness. The fact that it has gun depression on a tank with light tank camo, and madness. I mean, it doesn't have gun depression anymore. I'm lying, sorry, I'm living in the past. 6 degrees of gun depression now, because it did used to have actual gun depression, which is a bit sad to see that go, but when you're the best tank just about in the game, losing a few bits and pieces is probably warranted. I'm going to show you 2 games now from some subscribers. I hope you enjoy them. I chose these games specifically for the way they play the tank. This is Chucho Pero pushing the point. He is the first man through the door, despite the fact that 5 guys have gone to the left, because Chucho has a lot of tanking IQ, and he's sensed that there is only one light tank on their team, and if he is quick and aggressive, he can get up and flank the red guys. And this is a tank that you can be quick and aggressive in. Because, for God's sakes, it is so fast, even after the nerfs. And it's so agile, even after the nerfs. I mean, you've got 60 degrees of traverse, but that's not the whole story. You have terrain resistance of 0.8, 0.9, and 1.1. Anything under 1 is really, really good. The terrain resistance numbers are based along soft, medium, and hard terrain, or hard, medium, and soft, rather. The lower they are, the better they are. And 1.1 on soft terrain is like really, really, really good. It means that you are going to get power to weight through the yin-yang, and you are going to be able to accelerate very, very effectively. To give you some kind of idea on just how good that is, a tank like the Dracula, it has 1.1, and 1.5. A tank like the LTTB, which is amazing as well, has 0.6, 0.8, and 1.3. So it's a little bit better on hard terrain and a little bit worse on soft terrain. So you're up there with the most mobile tanks in the game. Your horsepower to weight ratio means that you are not quite where you were before. And the fact that you don't do 70 kilometers an hour, 72 kilometers an hour now, you only do 65, means that you're not as good as you were before. But for all that, think about how bloody ridiculously strong this tank was for the longest time. I had like 113 games in this tank at 93% rating when it first came out, because it was just a revelation. It was the first light tank in tier 6. And while everyone wanted to see what the RU251 could do and the SP1C could do, I got to this thing and was like, hang on, guys, we need to talk about the VK2801. It seems to be really good with armor and really good with gun depression and really good with DPM and really good with accuracy and really good with pen and really good with acceleration and really good with top speed, and it has light tank camo. Am I missing something here? And it was like that for like, what, 2 years? I mean, it was my favorite tank in the game. I drove this thing into the ground, and with good reason, because you could run tanks like this in duos, 2 of them at the same time, and you had like the 2 best tanks in the game together, running around the ground, doing focus firing and playing solid tactical gameplay and just smashing. Anyway, so you see Choo Choo Pera has been using the lovely gun, and it is a lovely gun. The dispersion on the gun is 0.326, which is good. The depression is only 6 degrees now, which is very depressing considering where it was. Penetration is 157, better than a Comet or something like that on your 160 alpha. 75mm, 1700 DPM, which isn't amazing, but it's pretty good. Good view range, outstanding camouflage, and really, really good armor for a tank of this style and type. And more importantly, it's maintained enough mobility to get the job done. Now, it's not what it once was, but I will always have a soft spot in my heart for the little Bewilderbeast. It's still a joy to play, and I don't know whether it's just that I got used to playing it in a certain way, and because of that, I never really changed my play style in it, and I just play so hyper aggressive in it that I can't help but have a good time. It's quite possible that's the case. The other thing you do need to know is it has weak flat sides. So if you get KV2s, do not give them the side of this tank. 90mm HE pen will go through. You can be one shot. I've one-shot a few VKs in my time. If you go sideways past a KV2 and you see him not moving the turret, it's because he's waiting for you to go and run past his gun, and then he's just going to tear you apart. So I'm going to show you this game with Chucho Pera, and then I'm going to show you a pretty awesome game on Naval Frontier. Well done, Chucho, you amazing human. Hope you enjoyed that one. Excellent game. Mastery badge, top gun, high caliber, and the pools. I like the fact that he flanked there, and I really wanted to include one where the flanking was hot, hard, and heavy. Now, this one is great. Raul _WOT _WOT in the VK2801 on Naval Frontier. Watch Raul fly. Raul does not stop to ask for directions. It's lovely seeing the tank driven this way, because this is how I drive the VK. It is a superb tank when driven aggressively. It's one of those tanks where the harder you drive it, the more you get out of it. if you just sit it at the back, you're wasting this tank's abilities. It's got outstanding camo. It's outstanding in terms of speed, and it's got a very nice gun for a light tank. So you want to be moving it around the battlefield, and you wanting to hit a lot of shots. And if you're a fan of firing on the move, like I am, then you are really going to enjoy the tank. You're going to see Raul here do some lovely firing on the move in the VK. In fact, he pulls a couple of these shots straight out of his butt. They are absolutely hilarious, and they are done at like 60 kilometers an hour while swerving and turning all over the place with never a backward step. Now, I like the angle he has there. He just overextended a little bit, and so that Kuro Moro actually got a chance at getting stuck into him, and he does the safe thing, pulls back just a touch. Does not let that Kuro, though, get the better of him. Is not going to be denied. Bang, bang, bang. Still getting stuck in. Slowly whittling away the hit point pool there. And now he can go hell for leather on this guy, which he does in no short order. It's pretty weird. This is an SP1C there that's chasing around, and he decides to push down into the SP1C. You'd hope for a ram, because this thing really shreds other light tanks in rams, and that's exactly what's going to happen. This SP1C, oh yeah, look at the damage. I mean, when you're doing 160 alpha a shot, those little nudges and kisses, they matter a lot. And there we go. Gets rid of Jaiju SM, and he's off to the races. As I said, he doesn't stop to ask for directions. It's 2 minutes, 15 seconds into the game, and he's already got 2 kills and has put a bucket load of work in, and he's about to hit a few hilarious shots as he goes racing around down to the top northwest corner of the map. Now it's 2 on 4. He's look at this. Misses that one. That's probably going to be the last one you'll see him miss the whole game. It's 2 on 4, and his Gamer Tamerlan, his platoon mate, has just fallen over, and it's now really up to Raul to pick up the slack. Look at that. You've got to be kidding me. Driving away, not even looking, just using the auto aim. Hits that, but doesn't go through, which was pretty impressive. Just hitting it in and of itself. Gets that one in. And then starts driving back. Yeah, why not? Gets the angle perfect for that T150. Bounces the 200 alpha. He's thinking about where he heads to now. That VK2801 is looking in a little bit of strife. Tactically, he's not in the best place. Oh, yeah. What? Yep, no worries. That makes perfect sense. Totally believe that one going in. And the reason I believe it is I hit these shots myself before. And the reason for that is it's actually got the best on-the-move coefficient of any light tank in its tier. Not by a lot, but by enough. And by that I mean, look at that. That's crazy. When you fire and you're moving your tank, there is a coefficient applied to the shot. And the lower that number, the better, because that means the smaller the deviation away from your normal dispersion. This has a 0.11 coefficient on the move shots. That's better than anyone else. That's why you're going to hit more shots on the move with this tank. Not the least contributing factor to that is also that it has a very good gun. The only gun with a better dispersion at this tier is the MT25's 57mm, which doesn't really count. I mean, it's not that crash hot. There you go. Super drive, super aggressive. Carey says he's platoon mate. Darius Moon says good game in the VK3002M. So they should, because that was a brilliant game from our amigo Raul. Well done, mate. Mastery badge, Top Gun, high caliber, pulls, all the other stuff. Love it. Hope you enjoyed that. Look after yourselves, guys. If you're at Tankfest, come and look me up. I'll be around. Until next time, stay safe on the battlefield.